Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today I want to do a bit more of a chatty video. So if you want, maybe pause the video, make a cup of tea and come back. It's just going to be me in this from one camera shot just talking. So I wanted to talk today about 5 tips on how to avoid negative feedback on eBay. So just a bit of background on me selling on eBay. So I've been selling on eBay about 5 years on and off. I've got about 1,000 feedback, and as of right now, I've got 100% positive. Doesn't mean that I think I'm better than anybody else. I've had a couple of neutral and a couple of negatives in about 2,000 items sold over that period. But luckily, I contacted eBay and I was able to get those 2 negative feedbacks removed. One of which was a crazy story, and I'll do a separate video talking about that because things just got really weird with that one. But yeah, so yeah, I'll give you the 5 points right now. Also, I have taken some notes, and I've just managed to prop them up behind the camera. So if you see me looking up there, that's why. I've just put some bullet points so I don't go too far off and go around the houses too much. So the first one is just making sure you've got a good listing. So good title, good photos. You used to be able to take 12 photos on eBay. Now they've changed that to 24, and really take advantage of that. Take as many photos as you can. Any sort of marks, scuffs or damage or anything on the items, just make sure you highlight that and mention it in the description as well. Just try and be as honest and transparent as you can. So the second one is make sure you pack the item well. Don't be stingy on the packaging materials. Just make sure you take that time as well. Make sure you pack it properly. Say for example, if you're packing a coffee mug, if you don't feel comfortable dropping it, or maybe dropping it and kicking it, or just to go extreme, you don't feel comfortable dropping it down the stairs, then you probably have not packed it well enough. So in transit, parcels do get chucked about a bit, so yeah, make sure you pack it really well. So I would also highly recommend you send the item tracked. Anything over £5 I will send tracked. I try not to list anything less than £5 anymore, but yeah, just always send it tracked. If something goes wrong, it gets lost in transit, both the buyer and eBay will be able to see that you have dropped it off, and it will help. It'll help cover you if anything goes wrong. So yeah, that's the end of that one. So my tip number 3 is, if you receive any messages before, during or after someone's bought something, try and get back to them as soon as you can. I know it's easier said than done if you've got a job, if you've got family, if you've got other commitments going on. And I'm not saying you need to be glued to your phone all day, but yeah, the sooner you can respond to them, the better. Just for several reasons. For the first one, if someone's interested in buying something and it takes you a day or 2 to get back to them, by that point they've probably been moved on and they've bought something, that item, off somebody else. And if they've got a problem or any questions, the sooner you get back to them, the happier they'll be, because they'll feel like they're being listened to and they're not having to wait for ages for you to respond to them. And when you do respond, even if the buyer's being a little bit snidey and a bit rude, just try and always be professional and polite. So tip number 4, if you make a mistake, just own it. If you get a message, someone saying the item's been damaged, or you've sold me a bundle but you've missed something out, or this is damaged and you didn't say, whatever it is, whatever the mistake you've made is, just own it. Just take full responsibility. Just apologise, and just whatever happens, just deal with it the best you can. And then tip number 5 is, if you do get a return, try not to take it personally and try not to bring emotion into it. Just accept it. Every single shop you can think of will have returns. Amazon, they're probably selling, hundreds or thousands of items a minute or by the hour. I looked up the amount of returns they have. I'll try and put a picture somewhere to put it. The amount of returns they get is absolutely staggering, as Amazon as a whole. They will happen for all sorts of reasons. Maybe if it's an item of clothing, the measurements were there in the listing, but the person's bought it, tried it on, and they just don't like the way it fits or feels on them, so they could send it back for that. I had a lady last month, she bought a handbag off me. It arrived, and at first she was like, yeah, this is great, thank you. And then a week later she opened up a return saying, look, it's a nice bag, but I've just got too many of them. So yeah, don't try not to argue with them, don't push back against it, just accept that, you know, returns do happen. And even if you are selling on a private account and you have no returns policy, if the buyer opens up an item as not described case, they can push and force a return to go through. So yeah, just bear that in mind as well. But yeah, I'm not in any anymore, but several years ago I used to be in sort of a couple of reselling Facebook groups, or I'd see stuff on Instagram of people getting into arguments with the buyer and getting kind of aggressive and getting really sort of a bit snotty with them. And sometimes I understand why, because of the situation, everything depends, but so it just feels a bit unnecessary. Like if they're not happy, they're not happy. Just whatever it is, just accept the return. Just do your best to diffuse it. I think if you do that, you are playing a bit of a dangerous game, because if you fight fire with fire, it can escalate and then it can go against you. So yeah, just remain polite, professional. Don't be emotional. Don't take it personally, and just yeah, accept it's part of it. Deal with it the best you can, and then when they get the item back, refund the buyer and relist it, and hopefully it'll sell again. Okay, so those were the all 5 points. I've done every single corner of the room. I just thought I'd make it a little bit more interesting and break the video up. But I just thought I'd talk a little bit about what to do if the buyer is negative and aggressive and rude, and you're not sure how to handle it or how to sort of resolve it. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that now. So if you've got a buyer coming at you in the messages, they're being rude and aggressive, the best way I try and deal with it is just try and kill them with kindness. If someone's being really rude, it's really hard for them to carry on being rude if you keep on being nice. I'm not saying you always have to be nice. You know, if someone's being extremely unreasonable, you know, you do get that from time to time. But yeah, just try and remain professional. The thing I think of and I remember, and what I do to help myself is, imagine you own a brick and mortar shop. You're the manager of that shop, and you've got a disgruntled customer who comes in and starts arguing with you, and it's face to face. You'd probably deal with it different. Some people will probably deal with that very differently than they would if it's just messages online. So that's the kind of tip I give myself, is if I get someone who's not happy in the messages, treat them like it is a face-to-face interaction, and just be helpful and be polite, and just because sometimes they want you to bite back, because then they can use that as ammunition to whether return the item or to whether to try and get a refund and keep the item, whatever they're up to. So yeah, that's probably my biggest tip I could give you in this video, is if you do, whether it's good or bad, if you get a message of someone, treat it as if it is you're in a shop and it's a face-to-face interaction. That's really helped me anyway. But yeah, your feedback on eBay is incredibly important. It's your reputation, so you want to try and do everything you can to keep people happy. One, because if they are happy, they'll probably buy from you again, potentially. And if they're not happy and they do leave negative feedback, that can impact your sales in the future as well. So it is definitely probably one of the most important things on eBay. So yeah, I hope this video's helped. I'm gonna end the video now because I feel like I've been chatting for a lot. I've done so many outtakes, I just forget what I'm saying, or I just go off on a point and I'm like, that's not related to the video, and it's gonna it's gonna be a little bit of editing to put all this together. But yeah, if you have found it useful or helpful in any way, or if you can think of any more points that I've probably missed, or you think I should have gone into more detail, if you leave them in the comments down below so both myself and other people can see them as well, that would be great. But yeah, I'll wrap things up here. But thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it. Take care and goodbye for now.